Here, along the shore of the River Thames estuary, lies hidden hazards, decaying waste scattered on the water's edge, emerging from an old landfill site, now exposed by erosion.
We're seeing anything that you would have put in your bin or chucked away in the 1960s or 1970s is kind of now here on the beach.
Degraded plastics drape the soil that once buried them. Soon they'll break down into microplastics, damaging marine life.
This is solid waste material that's just been released straight out of the landfill. It's going to get broken down into tiny, tiny pieces, and then that can enter the food chain.
There are dangerous toxins here too, like in these old batteries.
You find these kind of little carbon rods, which are obviously the centre of these batteries.
And banned hazardous materials lie openly on the beach.
Those are bits of old asbestos sheeting. These sites contain chemicals that we are no longer allowed to dump, to dispose of. So that could include toxic things like PCBs or asbestos. And then of course we've got low-level contamination from industrial waste, domestic waste.
The landfill site dates back decades and was long since shut down. The waste beneath it was meant to be buried forever. But the site is spilling its contents and contaminants are slowly seeping into the river and out to sea.
Disposing of waste alongside rivers and coastlines is very common. It happens all over the world. But as of yet, there's still no solution to prevent toxic waste eventually entering the sea and the ecosystem.
There are over 1,000 historical landfill sites all around the British coast. Concerns are that more could collapse into the sea in future, though only a few pose an immediate risk.
So this site is open to the elements, waves, wind, tides, but also it means that people can access the material as well.
We're seeing that here.
Yes.
Keen treasure hunters are worsening the damage here as they dig for relics. They're also risking contamination. This eroding coastline is another hazard for passers-by, but it's also a sign of slowly rising sea levels and more extreme weather due to climate change.
Where a combination of weather conditions and tidal conditions mean that we can have these very big storm surges coming up the coast and eroding this material.
This looming problem is a global one with no immediate solution. This site, a clear warning of the dangers buried just below the surface of our shorelines, which could cause lasting damage to the environment. Kitty Logan, CGTN, Essex.